This story is terrifying. It started with whispers, then came to shadows. In 1974, Jack and Janet Smurl moved into a modest duplex in West Pittston, Pennsylvania, hoping to start a quiet life with their 4 daughters. What they got instead was a nightmare that would last over a decade. At first, it was subtle, a stain that wouldn't go away. Appliances shorting out, old spots, but things quickly escalated. Fast. The family claimed they were physically attacked by an unseen force. Scratches appeared overnight. Doors slammed shut without reason. Their German shepherd was thrown against the wall. Even the smell of rotting flesh lingered in the air. One night, Jack woke up and looked over to see his wife levitating above their bed. She was glowing faintly, and her mouth was contorted into an obscene snarl. Another time, he was violently thrown down a flight of stairs and knocked unconscious. And when he regained his senses, he felt something cold and wet all over his body. He went to the bathroom, turned on the light, and looked down. His entire body was covered in scratches. He said he was sexually assaulted by a demon. And she wasn't the only one being attacked. Janet was levitated and thrown from her bed. The children screamed at night, tormented by what they described as a black mass that moved through the house. They drew pictures of it. It looked like a giant, hairy spider. At first, the townspeople thought the Smurls were crazy, but then the family dog died. It stopped breathing in front of them, and its eyes rolled back in its head, desperate for help. The Smurls turned to renowned demonologists, Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Warrens investigated the home and declared that a powerful inhuman spirit, possibly multiple, were infesting the house. Lorraine claimed to have seen dark shadows and heard growling voices during her visit. She placed a crucifix on the front door to keep whatever was inside from coming out, and that seemed to work for a while. But the attacks continued. One night, Lorraine Warren was visiting again and performing an exorcism. All of a sudden, the lights flickered and went out. When they were restored, the crucifix was on the floor and the priest was levitating. And if that wasn't enough, the possessed priest started speaking in tongues and his eyes turned black. The Catholic Church was contacted and 2 priests came to bless the home. The family stood in a circle holding hands as the priest sprinkled holy water around the room. Suddenly, a chair flew across the room and hit one of the priests in the head. But still, they tried. 3 more blessings were performed, and each time the attacks became more violent. The entity seemed to mock the rituals by turning the sacred objects against the priests. They were forced to abandon their mission. They couldn't continue. Skeptics said the Smurls were imagining it. Others believed it was a hoax. But priests, neighbors, even police officers came forward to say they had witnessed unexplainable events inside that home. Jack and Janet eventually left the house and moved to another location, but the entity followed them. The new home was blessed, too, and as soon as the priest turned to leave, he was struck by a flying object and injured. A book was written about the haunting, The Devil in the White City, and a made-for-TV movie aired in the 1990s. But the family, even after moving, said the entity followed them. So what was it? Was it real? Was it mass hysteria? Mental illness? Or was it something else? For years, people have been fascinated by the supernatural, by the idea that there are things in our world that we can't explain. And one of the most popular paranormal phenomena is ghosts. We love a good ghost story. There is just something about knowing that you might be sharing your living space with a spirit that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. But what about the stories that are a little different? The ones that make you question everything you thought you knew about the paranormal? Today, we're going to take a look at one such story. It's about a family who experienced something so disturbing that they had to call in the experts. This isn't just your average ghost story. It's a tale of terror that will leave you questioning reality itself. The year was 1974 when Jack and Janet Smurl, along with their 4 young daughters, moved into a small duplex in West Pittston. Pennsylvania. They were excited to start their new life in their new home, but they had no idea what was in store for them. It began subtly. Unexplained stains on the walls, appliances mysteriously breaking down, and a strange chill in the air. These incidents were unsettling, but could be dismissed as mere quirks of an old house. But then things took a turn for the worse. The family started experiencing terrifying physical attacks, as if some invisible force was targeting them in the middle of the night. Jack would wake up with scratches all over his body, and his wife Janet would find herself levitating above their bed. Their children were not spared either. They too were tormented by a shadowy figure that moved throughout the house. As the attacks intensified, the family reached out to renowned demonologists, Ed and Lorraine Warren, for help. Upon visiting the home, the Warrens determined that a powerful, inhuman spirit had taken up residence there. They believed that the entity was feeding off the positive energy of the family, and would use their beds as a source of power. To protect themselves, the Warrens suggested placing a crucifix on the front door to prevent the evil entity from entering. For a time this seemed to work, but the entity found other ways to torment the family. Objects would fly across the room, the television would turn on by itself, and disembodied voices would whisper in the night, desperate for a permanent solution. The Smurls asked the Catholic Church to bless their home. Despite their efforts, the entity continued to mock them by hurling objects at the priests, and even levitating one of them during a ritual. With the situation becoming increasingly dangerous, the Smurls decided to move, but the entity followed them to their new home, causing havoc once again. This led to a series of tragic events that shook the community. For years, the true nature of these terrifying experiences remained a mystery. Was it a case of mass hysteria, or was there something more sinister at play? The story raises questions about the boundaries between the physical and spiritual realms, and the courage it takes to confront the unknown. As we delve deeper into the chilling details of this haunting, we'll uncover the secrets that lie within the walls of the duplex and explore the impact it had on those who dared to enter. Join us on this journey as we uncover the truth behind the haunting of the Smurl family and separate facts from fiction. After hearing this story, what do you think happened to the Smurl family? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're looking for more stories like this, check out our other videos about real exorcism cases and paranormal documentaries. We promise you won't be disappointed. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on any of our spin-chilling content. Thank you for watching, and happy haunting. Now let's move on to the next video. In the early hours of February 1985, the tranquil town of Enfield, London, was shaken by a horrifying incident. 4-year-old Janet Hodgson, the youngest of a single mother's 5 children, was found levitating above her bed. Her terrified mother, Eileen, watched in disbelief as her daughter floated several feet up and then down before landing heavily on the floor. This wasn't an isolated incident. In the months leading up to this event, Janet and her siblings had exhibited strange behavior. Chairs had flown through the air, books had fallen off shelves, and the children had reported seeing ghostly apparitions. Eileen, initially skeptical, began to worry when her daughter started claiming to have a new friend named Goliath, a large man with horns who lived in the house. Word of the strange happenings in the Hodgson home spread quickly, and soon, paranormal investigators and clergymen were lining up to help. Some blamed demonic possession, while others saw the case as a simple case of imaginative play. But what was the truth? As the story of the Enfield poltergeist unfolded, it captured the attention of the nation and raised questions about the nature of the supernatural. The Enfield poltergeist case has left many wondering whether we truly understand the forces that may be at play in our world. From the initial sighting of Janet levitating to the subsequent investigations and theories, each piece of the puzzle adds to the mystery and complexity of the case. The evidence is often contradictory and open to interpretation, leaving us with more questions than answers. What do you think happened to the Smurl family? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're looking for more stories like this, check out our other videos about real exorcism cases and paranormal documentaries. We promise you won't be disappointed. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out